Hello everyone, my name is Micah, and in this video I'll be moving into a new journal and I'll take you along while I cover the cover, while I, yeah, collage on the cover, and I'll also share with you some of the first couple pages in this journal, and then at the end I'm going to do some notebook surgery as I'll cut apart one of my notebooks. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. And if nothing else, sit back and relax, or take out your own journal, or maybe you have some collage sheets to cut up or washi tape to organize. But yeah, let's share some crafty time together. So I always think that moving into a new journal is so fun. I love decorating the cover and figuring out what I want that to look like. And I felt drawn to this more simple or minimalistic setup that you see right here with the girl and her cat friend and just a strip of patterned paper. And I usually do something more to the effect of what you just saw on the right there, where I have the whole cover decorated with patterned papers and all kinds of different stickers and other ephemera. And I just couldn't decide. Something in me wasn't quite ready to commit to the more simple layout. And so I figured, well, I can sit here and deliberate, or I can just try it out. You know, that's the nice thing about not gluing it down right away, so that you have options and you can just feel it out. Because the thing is, I personally think that the cover just needs to feel right, because that's something that we look at every time we're going to start working in the journal. And so I just really want that to have the right tone or mood. And I realized that one of the reasons I was even not quite ready to commit to the more simple design was that I was afraid that it wouldn't look good on social media. And I'm a little embarrassed to admit that, but it's true. And first of all, that's so, that's that's the culture that we live in, isn't it? Where you have to realize that sometimes the voice in your head that's telling you what to do or not to do is because how will it look on social media? But I also do think, though, that there is a element of I've been trying different things out stylistically in my journal, and so it makes sense that I also wanted to really make sure that this is the way I want it to go. Because, I mean, journals can be such a great and safe place to try yourself out. Sort of, what do you like? What do what colors do you feel drawn to? Or things like that. And yeah, journals are just a great place for that, because it's completely judgment free, and it can be a fairly inexpensive way to experiment with colors and patterns and things like that. And not to say that every journal needs to be picture perfect, but if you do have a visual element to it, why not try yourself out? And that can even translate into your other areas of life, such as clothing or the way you decorate your living space and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm just I'm happy with what I decided there. So that worked out. And I guess there's this other side to social media too, is that we are exposed so much to other people's visions and choices and styles. And I think it can be easy to get lost in that a little bit, especially if there are multiple things that you enjoy looking at. I, for one, love seeing people's journals that are more maximalist, where there's stickers and patterned papers in every corner, and there's not much white space left, I love looking at that. But that is maybe not quite how I work in my journal. And I can get so saturated with what I look at, my inspiration, that I don't quite hear my own voice, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making any sense. It's like, even in the art journal spaces, I love when people do these acrylic, abstract art journal pages. But, thick acrylic has never been my thing, even though I love the textures of it. It's just, I can't seem to work with that as well. I'm more of the soft watercolor type. And so, yeah, but, a journal can also be a fun place to just try all of that stuff out and see how it goes. So here I am decorating the first spread in the journal, and something that I have been liking to do is to write out my intentions for that journal. So that's just a reflection on what I want to get out of my journal or what I want to capture in my journal. And writing it out just reminds me of it, and it's also fun to look back on what changes and what stays the same in terms of what I want to get out of my journaling. So yeah, I wrote that out there, and then I am making a cute little frame around the intentions by way of cutting out all these little elements from my PET tapes. I've been really enjoying having these PET tapes and these small delicate flowers and little people. Been really quite fun and enjoyable. I think I have 3 PET tapes right now, and though they're not cheap, I've gotten quite some use out of them. So for me, they have been worth the investment. But yeah, they're cute. And there we have it. This is what it looks like right now. And then in just a moment here, real-time me is going to take over and talk to you about some of the other spreads I've already created in this journal. It's actually a couple days later. The battery of my camera died, but I was on such a roll after we'd done the cover and the introductory intentions page that I kept going, and I created this spread. This is really fun. This is my wish list or my mood board for a couple of items I'm looking into buying for my new office. I recently moved. I'm missing a printout of the rug that I'm thinking of getting, so I still need to add that. I love making spreads like that because, one, it's fun to look back on, just seeing how tastes change or what I ended up actually buying. And it's also fun to create. It helps to make decisions too, because you see it all together and you can sort of see, does that actually go together? Is that eliciting the sort of mood that I want to set? So I don't know. I really like doing these kinds of things. It's a little bit like building a dollhouse on paper, and anything doll-like I'm all for. I love dollhouses, dolls, stuffed animals, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's a really simple, fun spread right there. And then I also put this together after an event that I went to last week by the local Humane Society. They hosted a kitten shower, really fun, because they have an influx of kittens this time of year, and so they were looking for donations. And I got to hold this cutie. Her name is Macy, and she was so precious and sweet and cute. And I played with this kitten right here for a while. So yeah, really, really fun. So yeah, I put this together. And last night I started on this page, but I still have to add some journaling there. And as you can tell, this more minimal cover actually ended up setting the tone for the inside, at least for now. It's all more minimal and a little, I guess a little more simple, but minimal really is probably the word. And I like that it still has fun colors and patterns, but there's a lot of room to breathe, negative space, and you can sort of tell what's going on right when looking at it. And I think I like that. I absolutely adore people's journals where the whole page is just full of color. There's just little bits and pieces in every corner. And for example, if you know Courtney's journals from Little Raven Ink, hers are a great example of that sort of maximalist style. And I love, love, love looking at that. I think this is more me though. I do like the aesthetic of that, but then also I don't have that much stationery to play with. So this also goes along with what I have in my stash. And that's also why I like the A6, I think, is because with very little stickers and washi tape, you can create a very colorful spread. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting how that's gonna evolve throughout the next couple pages. And you know, something like that can change too. I'm not putting rules on myself necessarily when it comes to style like that. So very happy with how this is going. One more thing I wanted to do while I have you here is, so you know how I'm housing my journal in this beautiful cover by Mansorah Atelier. And because I have multiple, what are these called? Strings? Elastics in here, I want to take advantage of that. So one will obviously be for my main journal. And then I thought the notebook that I'm now abandoning in terms of having it as my main journal, I'll cut this apart and then put a new cover on it. And then I can use these gridded pages for quick note taking or for more quote unquote messy journaling. If I just want to get my thoughts out and don't want to worry about decorating nothing, I'm gonna use this. So if you're interested, we can do this notebook surgery right now. If you've never done that before, cutting apart a notebook, I personally have had very good luck with just finding where the signature ends. And if you don't know what a signature is, it's one grouping of pages. I don't know if I can show you. No, it's not really showing up on camera, but you can if you go real close, you can tell where the paper is sort of like bundled together. So wherever I stopped last, I just find where the next signature is and then cut there. I find that that helps keep the integrity of the journal a little bit more intact, and you're not ending up ruining the rest of the notebook unnecessarily. And then I just take my knife and kind of just start chopping. I've never done this with a Hobonichi before. I know with the Midori, because it has this mesh spine, it goes really well. This cuts really well. So we'll see if how that goes with the Hobonichi. I cut something. Don't know if I cut the right thing though. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. It is a part. And I think, yep. Well, this part that I actually journaled in is still intact. I'll just find something nice to put on the back here. And then here I've lost, yeah, sort of a signature, I think. But that's okay. I can just use this for loose leaf note taking. Yeah, and then here we have, oh, what's that? A little treasure. Take that out of here. And we can use this as another notebook. cute. And then I like to just pick out some scrapbook paper for putting on as a cover because it's a little thicker and gives it a little bit more integrity. And then this is one of my favorite paper pads. I bought this from Joann's. Is it a year ago or 2 years ago? I'm not sure. But it has these gorgeous handmade papers. Like they actually have a handmade texture to them, so they're really nice to the touch. It's not just printed like that. And so I'm thinking of either going with this pattern right here, or what was the other one that I was thinking about? Some of these, this one with the turquoise. I think I go with the pink. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. And then I just do the really lazy way of just trace the object to get it the right size. Okay, it seems like we have to put a little bit of tape here on this first page. All right, our little notebook is functional, I think. This is a little worse for wear right here. If I had a broad washi tape, I would probably put some over top, or probably a bookbinder's tape would be really good for that. I've been considering getting some because then you can also cover your notebooks in fabric real nicely if you have some strong adhering bookbinding tape to put over the spine. But we'll be okay for now, I think. Yeah, very happy with that. And so, oh yeah, they look cute together, don't they? Okay, so maybe we just pick a spot. This is just my guide here. And slide them in, like so. And then this one. Right here. Perfect. I really like the setup. And then one or two other things I really want to do to fully move into this beautiful cover is in the middle, I want to make myself a paper folder. I've actually done this for my regular size traveler's notebook. I'm going to zoom you out. So here I've made this paper folder out of that same handmade paper from that paper pad because it feels so nice and it's really sturdy. And you can just slide loose papers in. And what I also did is attach a pen holder by Leuchtturm. That way I can have it in my notebook setup, but I don't have to stick it to the actual leather cover. So if you ever change your mind about having a pen loop, or if you want to sell the leather cover, then you don't have to worry about having stuck such a plastic thing onto your beautiful leather. So super handy. So I think I'm gonna make something like that to have in here. And then I do want to update this pocket, what I have in that pocket. I've already sort of created it, and that is this cat. And then I want to write in it, being my most joyful self, as a reminder that this journaling that I do is about being or becoming my most joyful self. I just want to laminate this cat so that she's a little bit more protected. But I don't have a laminator, so I will have to take her to Staples or something. Or get some self-laminating sheets where you don't need that laminator for. But yeah, I am really happy how this is coming together, and I'm so excited for this whole setup. I hope you found some inspiration in this video, and as always, I'm so thankful that you share this time with me, join me while we craft, and yeah, until next time, happy journaling!